In the fourth episode of the amazing digital circus, we got a closer look at how much Jax has evolved as a character. It feels like we're beginning to uncover his deeper personality and even hints about what he might have been like in real life. This could explain why he treats others the way he does. There's also a compelling theory suggesting that Jax and Ragatha were a couple in the real world, and the digital circus reflects the issues in their relationship. Today, I want to explore Jax's inner world and speculate on whether his journey will lead to positive growth or a darker path. Let's dive into the behavioral changes we saw in Jax during episode 4. At the start of the episode, before all the main characters, except Kinger, set out on their adventure, Jax's behavior mirrored what we've come to expect. For instance, during the baseball scene with Ragatha and Gangle, Jax managed to shatter Gangle's usual joyful mask. This moment left me torn between two interpretations. The first possibility is that this was the same old Jax we know, lying about his intentions and making a joke at Gangle's and Ragatha's expense. He said,
Jax!
I actually didn't mean to do that.
Are you all right, Gangle?
But it's easy to imagine he was being insincere. However, there's a second possibility. Jax might have been telling the truth for once. I've noticed that whenever Jax tries to lie about a prank or mean-spirited action, his tone usually gives him away. Yet in this scene, his voice sounded genuinely apologetic, suggesting he truly didn't mean for Gangle's joyful mask to break. Later, when Zubul offers Gangle a new mask from their box of spare parts, the other characters gather in Zubul's room. Jax asks,
What the heck is this? You're just giving away parts now?
So what if I am? I'm not giving any to you.
Darn, guess you're never getting that unicorn horn, Pomni.
This sparked an interesting thought. If Zubul's box contains parts that can benefit Gangle, could it also hold pieces that might help other characters in future episodes? Jax's immediate interest in the box stood out. It seemed like he might have been considering whether it held something for him, too. Given his curiosity, I wouldn't be surprised if Jax sneaks into Zubul's room to explore the box further when Zubul isn't around. Remember, Jax has access to every character's room, as revealed in the pilot episode. This detail opens up intriguing possibilities for future episodes, especially as Jax continues to explore Zubul's mysterious spare parts. Now, let's shift back to Jax's character development during the Spudsy adventure. This new setting, a fast food restaurant, impacted all the characters differently, but it had the most significant effect on Jax. Unlike the usual chaotic and whimsical adventures, this one felt grounded in real-life scenarios, which seemed to bore Jax immediately. In an attempt to entertain himself, he started making jokes. However, when he dunked Ragatha's head in the deep fryer, Gangle took charge, calling Kane to arrange punishments for Jax. After this incident, Jax's demeanor shifted. He abandoned his usual antics and began behaving more realistically, like someone simply trying to get through a frustrating day at work. When he didn't like something, he expressed his dissatisfaction directly rather than resorting to jokes or pranks. For example, he openly admitted his dislike for Orbsman. When Gangle kept assigning him tasks, he didn't lash out but instead disagreed calmly. Despite his efforts, Jax was still punished, this time by being forced to watch a strange video of Gangle, seemingly intended to reprogram his emotions. However, it's doubtful that the video had any real effect on Jax. His change in behavior likely stemmed from the circumstances he found himself in, rather than external manipulation. For the first time, we saw Jax showing genuine interest in how others were feeling. This marked a significant step in his growth as a character. For instance, Jax approached Zubul to discuss the punishments, admitting he didn't think Kane would actually enforce them. When it turned out he was wrong, Jax didn't argue or push back. Later, he checked in on Pomni, asking how she was doing. Pomni, in turn, gave a misleadingly positive response, but Jax didn't shy away from admitting his own struggles. He confessed,
How you doing?
Everything's been... I'm doing fine.
Wish I could say the same.
One particularly notable moment came when Ragatha was under the influence of a strange sauce. In the past, Jax might have taken the opportunity to make cruel, drawn-out jokes at her expense. Instead, he simply told her, "You're drunk. You need to go home." With each new episode, Jax seems to grow kinder toward the other characters. This brings me to a theory about his connection with Ragatha. While it hasn't been explicitly stated that they are a couple in the digital circus, their interactions hint at a deeper bond. This could be a reflection of their relationship in the real world. At the beginning of the episode, we see Jax and Ragatha fighting. This situation might feel familiar to anyone who has experienced a strained relationship. The argument starts when Jax accidentally hits Gangle with a ball, breaking her mask. Ragatha immediately becomes angry and begins bringing up broader issues related to Jax's behavior. Although we don't see how the argument concludes, there's another moment later in the episode that hints at Ragatha's feelings. When Jax asks Ragatha to move while she's lying on the floor at Spudsy, she responds,
Yo, Jax. I, hate you, but I don't want you to hate me. Is that weird?
This line suggests that, deep down, Ragatha relies on Jax and values their connection, even if it's complicated. They seem to complement each other, with their dynamic reflecting both the strengths and flaws of their bond. One of the highlights of episode 4 was how effectively it revealed the personalities of each character. Regarding Jax, the episode shed light on why he behaves the way he does. It's likely that his actions in the digital circus mirror his real-life struggles. In the real world, Jax might have been someone who felt trapped, forced to follow orders he didn't agree with. Unable to express his frustrations to those in authority, he likely bottled up his anger, only to release it on others in less risky situations. For example, Jax's resistance to Gangle's instructions early in the episode mirrors his probable defiance toward authority figures in real life. However, just as Gangle punished him in a harsh manner, it's possible Jax faced similar consequences for speaking out in the real world. This could explain why he uses humor and teasing as coping mechanisms. They allow him to vent his frustrations without directly confronting those who hold power over him. The digital circus, in many ways, gives Jax a freedom he lacks in real life. Here he can act out without fear of severe repercussions, except, of course, in this particular episode, where even his usual antics backfired. When Orbsman entered the restaurant, Jax quietly admitted he didn't like him. Gangle immediately threatened to punish Jax for disrespecting a customer, highlighting yet another real-world issue: people in positions of authority abusing their power due to their own unresolved issues. This dynamic is evident in Gangle's behavior. Meanwhile, Jax represents those who suppress their emotions, only to lash out at others who don't deserve it. While Jax likely doesn't intend to harm others, his inability to address his feelings constructively creates a cycle of negativity. This brings us back to an important question. Will Jax find a way to break this cycle? His interactions with other characters, particularly in this episode, suggest that he's starting to confront his flaws. Whether he continues on this path of self-improvement or reverts to his old ways remains to be seen. Now let's talk about Gangle's new mask. What do you think it should be called? Share your suggestions in the comments. I'll feature the best ones in a future video. Also, let me know your thoughts on episode 4. Did you enjoy it? Which character stood out to you the most? Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to my channel for more discussions on the amazing digital circus. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.